Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on Bunkers Network. I'm your host, and I take excited Eddie B. There's no one joining me this episode. Bossman himself had a power outage in his neighborhood, so he wasn't able to make this episode. And because, of course, I'm recording late at night, people might be out, doing Halloween parties, or they may be asleep and everything. So you guys got me on this episode. We do have a lot to talk about, and it's funny that Corey had this power outage because I actually was talking to one of my associates at work about when I was at Toys R Us, we had a power outage, and we was out of power for almost a whole day at Toys R Us. So of course our ice cream melted. Our our freezer at my current job. My former place that I was working at, because I'm at a new place, but I'm still with the same company. Our freezer went out and the ice cream and stuff melted. But going back to Toys R Us, we ran out of power, so we literally had to go home. The thing about it is, because our power went out, the whole neighborhood power went out. And so we found out that we was all on the same power line, as the police was. So, you know, they had to get our power line going so that the police could do their job. I guess we could do our job, and then they went into the neighborhood. The neighborhood was out of power for 4 whole days. I have experienced that. There was a year that we lost power, and we just couldn't do anything for that time being. I mean, I was still with the work at Toys R Us in charge, whatever was the charge there, but I came back home. It was just like, well, it's darkness, and it took a couple of while before the power come back. But this was the time where we had the 3DS and PSP and PS Vita, where if we couldn't do console gaming because we had no internet, we had no power. But if you had a handheld with you, you was able to go to some place and get a charge and stuff, you would be able to spend a lot of time with those handheld games and having those experiences. And now look at it now, where Nintendo is led the charge with the Nintendo Switch, that not only do you can play home, but you can play on the go, all in one. And yes, the battery life is not that long and stuff, but if you can find power and keep your system charged, you can play console quality game. And that's why we got the Xbox One Ally. That's why we still got the Steam Deck, and everybody else who is trying to get into this market. The new handheld, I should say, or the hybrid handheld or hybrid console, or the hybrid gaming system, if you want to call it that. And it's just amazing to see how, you know, when you lose power, there's still a way to gain. Um, but you are really, on the time limit because of the battery drain for that. So it's just really kind of amazing to see that, you know, when you lose power, you can still find a way to entertain yourself and game and stuff. Now that there are some computers, who kind of have a good battery life, and you can charge stuff to your through your computer, and uh, help keep yourself entertained until the power comes back on. Because what would happen if we don't have power? We don't have electricity. It would be very interesting to see how us as humans react and what we do with it. Uh, but with that being said, everybody, I have a great show for you. Trust me, family news was popping off this week. Some very exciting stuff. Nintendo and Capcom really have been busy. And we're going to talk about that later on in family news. First we got Playing with Power. First we got Nintendo. and more in the show, Pack Watch and everything. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode with me, and we're gonna get into the flow of things with Nintendo. So um, what's Nintendo? Okay, so today, the Saturday that I'm recording. Or actually, it's Sunday at this time because daylight savings has happened and we're waiting for the time drop, but it is like Sunday, Sunday night. But um, I tried McDonald's Buffalo Ranch dipping sauce with the four-piece chicken tenders. Now, I will say this: the chicken tenders was perfect. It was really, really good. Um, the buffalo ranch is not bad. It's spicy. It gives you enough heat, but the ranch helps cool it down. So, it was really good getting it for it. I think there is a chicken sandwich that is with it and everything. If you want to get that, they use the sauce as like the topping on it. So you want to get that one, you can. But I really wanted to taste the sauce to see how it was tasting. It wasn't bad. It was really good. With it, uh, I tried some dragon fruit mango Arizona, which was fine. It was good. It's a little bit weird because of the dragon fruit taste, but the mango balance it out. It kind of works and everything. I found it at our gas station, close to my job. So it's like 99 cent. I'll give it a try. So, I went ahead and gave that a try. I know we just had Halloween, so my boss got us some Pepsis to drink and some pepperoni and plain cheese Domino's, which is really good. I actually ate a Philly cheesesteak from Domino's and a salad. It was this past Thursday. I ended up getting Chipotle. I just got a taste for it and everything. So, pretty much that. The cranberry Sprite is out, and I'm so happy. They do have the zero sugar flavor for those who care for that, but they also have the regular one. And yeah, once again, it is so good. It is literally the drink that you can have throughout Thanksgiving, throughout this holiday season, throughout this winter. It's just so good. That combination of the Sprite flavor and the cranberry. The cranberry kind of balances out the lemon lime that's in the Sprite, but it's so good. I will say this though, they do, like I talked about the diet line. Um, Coke, the Diet Coke line flavor. I'm not seeing a lot of people pick it up for. So it's going to be interesting to see how that does after this limited edition run is over with. Like I'm really intrigued to see. They do got the Shirley Temple 7 Ups also in the cans. So one of the stores that I visit and help out, they had them, so I may have to stop by that store and pick them up. Because I do enjoy them. It's like a cherry limeade and a pomegranate put together to make that Shirley Temple taste, and it's really, really good. I think this time I'm going to at least put some cans in the refrigerator so I can chill them, so I could drink them while they're chilled. So that is my plan for that. Had a Twinkie that I got from Target. I bought a box. I just had a taste for 'em. You know, had a Three Musketeer. Still had the Reese's peanut butter Oreo. We still got some of those at work. We're going to be getting rid of that a little bit unless they continue for it to go. Since we're going into November, we changed out certain snacks and everything. I know Twix has their Snickerdoodle out, and since we're putting out the Christmas candy, Hershey's got their Snickerdoodle, Hershey Kisses out too. I think they will be coming out with the like cookie batter and all of that stuff, or the sugar cookie, everything. I think a little bit later. So we're waiting definitely for that. Definitely their peppermint candy canes, Hershey Kisses is really really good too. For it. So with Halloween being over with, we're jumping right into Christmas, the Christmas season. Yes, we haven't took the bird yet, or for those who do Thanksgiving or who are vegan and eat different ways. Cutting the bird, I just use as a term for Thanksgiving because it's something basic and everything. So please do not take offense or anything like that. Um, with so, but that's pretty much what I have been snacking on. Oh, before I get into playing with power, if you guys go check out at Pow Block Podcast or at Boss Rush Podcast or Boss Rush Network on Twitter and on Blue Sky, you will see part of my Halloween costume. I am going to be posting the full picture to let everybody know. I went as Detective Luke from Professor Layton from the new game. He's a little bit older. I actually dyed my hair red. Um, and what's going to happen is it is red, but it's going to look burgundy, kind of goldish or something. And it was just a 1 day thing. It's the L'Oreal coloristic kind of can. So I sprayed my hair. I think next year if I do it again, like get the hairspray, I'm gonna have to have somebody spray my hair so it could look just right. But um that was my Halloween costume at work. Which was sad because like my store manager didn't get the I mean my manager one of the other managers sent it to my store manager, but um I didn't get a picture with my store manager and another person. It was only three of us that dressed up for Halloween. My store manager had to leave and the other person had to leave on Friday. So I was kind of like sad. I'm like, I dressed up for Halloween for people. But it is what it is. But I truly love my costume, dressing up as Luke. So I really had a fun time at work. Looking at Luke. No one really knew who Professor Layton was, or Detective Luke. But they did say I look like a detective from that time period. So I'm kind of happy with that. And I know there's a lot of people who don't play video games, and that's where I was inspired to get my characters from. But I really had a fun time doing it. So with that, everybody, I'm gonna get into playing with power. And what I've been playing with power. So there's kind of like four games that I'm playing at the moment. I'm gonna start with Xbox because I am playing the Path Traveler. Um, the first one I do own it on Switch. And I did get far in that game, but I didn't beat it yet. Uh, I got Octopath and Octopath Traveler 2 on Xbox. And I'm playing it on Series X. And I'm kind of doing this just to get the achievements and everything. Since I kind of know a little bit what to do and definitely with the grinding and stuff. But I'm just playing the first one on there. I was doing Borderlands 4, but I got to get Game Pass so I could get some help on multiplayer. At this time, I cannot do multiplayer without having an online system through Game Pass. So I gotta subscribe to that so I could get the multiplayer so someone could jump in and just help me with this end boss because I got into his second form, died because I couldn't shoot any other place to hit an enemy, and it re does you have to redo the whole fight. You don't get to stay on his second floor, which really really sucks. With it, even though I'm at level 50, I don't want to. I don't feel like doing this whole fight over again. So I definitely need a second player to help me fight him and everything. Um, I did play some more Absalom, enjoying that. But I've been playing. Ender, Magnolia, Bloom, and the Mist. This is a follow up to Ender Lilies. This is a 2025 Metrovania video game developed by App Globe and Livewire and published by Binary Haze Interactive. Um, like I said, their previous game was Ender Lilies, Quietest of the Night. So it's a really it's a really fun game. I've been dying and everything. This is on Unreal Engine 5, and um, yeah, I've been. It has a Souls like kind of thing, um, but you don't when you die, you have to fight the boss over again. But you don't have to go recollect your souls and stuff. You did. There's nothing that should do this, but the boss fights are challenging. And they have a yellow kind of not so much a stamina bar, but they have this yellow bar that you would hit them with, that you're trying to get down so you can daze them and be able to take off more hits with them. So right now, I think I'm like at the second part of the game because I'm like at this upper structure and the lower parts in the game. So there's a lot of homunculi that I've been fighting in the game. It's not so much Full Metal Alchemist, so that you guys know. It's nothing like that. But definitely enjoying that on Switch 2. I bought it a while back. I played it a little bit and then I put it down. But since I've been taking my Switch with me to work. I've been playing it on my lunch. And sometimes when I bring it home, I get into the zone of playing more and more of it. Because I put Shadow Labyrinth back, from Bandai Namco. I kind of took it off so I could have more space. I know I got to get a micro SD express card. I just been playing Ender Lilies, and it's not too fast. It's kind of running at a smooth 30 frames per second. It's a little bit slow with it, but the animation looks really nice and really crisp. And I kind of want to see what happens with more of the story. Right now, all right, right. Oh, I'm at a magic school, a magic academy, and so my job is to rescue six other students that is in this academy. So this is the part where I'm at in this game. Last but not least, I've been playing Spiral the Dragon on Xbox Series X. With the Spiral collection, like the remake of this game. And I'm enjoying it. I got back into my collectathon bag for the game, so super excited for that. I will say this: I have beaten not Crash. I have beaten Spiral 1 and Spiral 2. I didn't beat 3. I beat 1 and 2 on the original PS1 with all everything collected, like 100%. But I never got to play 3, so I'm trying to get 100% on this remake for 1, and then go to 2, and then go to 3. Trying to 100% them all because definitely during the PS2 era with the platformers. I definitely was 100%ing platforming games. I couldn't do the Super Mario 64 as much as I tried. There were just a lot for that, and I just had a limited time. But like, I get Daxter on PlayStation 2, I was making sure that I get 100%. And there wasn't no reason to get 100% because there was no secret ending. It was just like, oh, you got everything in the world, you good to go. You can move on. So, yeah, those are, this is what I'm playing with Power. And the Lilies, not in the Lilies, and their Magnolia, Blooms in the Mist, and Absolute for, um, Switch 2, and then Octopath Traveler and Spiral, for Series X. Now, I will be getting into, some other games on Series X. I know in January I told Corey this that I'm thinking of going through the whole Halo series. Because Halo Campaign Evolved was announced for Series X and for PlayStation, and I can actually tell you I've only beat two Halo games. Halo 4 with Corey and Jesse, and Halo 5 by myself. I've never beat Halo 1 through 3. I got to the end level on Halo 1, and I was just getting thrashed because the controls were terrible. The Warhog felt like a garbage can full of rocks when I try to drive it, and I'm like, I cannot do this. And I just didn't want to go through it. Even, yes, I even did the book library and just like, okay, it is what's gonna be. Um, I can I'm just gonna have to push through and try to get it done. And I think that's what I kind of like on with Xbox games for anything that I miss. I could like put some time in, dedicate some time to, and then beat them, and then move on to the next game. Because I did that with Gears of War. I actually took a whole summer to beat Gears 1 to 3. Shout out my boy Eric. He helped me beat Gears 3 with that game and part of Gears 2. It just had a ball. Just, and so playing Gears 1, 2, 3, and then beating 4 with myself. I think me and Corey also beat 4 together, and then doing 5 by myself. I'm super excited for Gears E Day, and I cannot wait to play those Series X. But like, since we're in November, there's so much goodness that's coming up. Yes, everybody, I did get Dragon Quest 1 and 2. Right now it is still in the package, but I'm excited to play that sometime this month in November. I know a lot of people have who got the game somehow already beat it the first game. Hey, Dragon Quest 1, so I'm just like, is it is it not that long? I don't know. We'll see when I get to it. But I'm super excited to play that one. You know, I am going to get into Expedition 33 this month. Well, like real soon because I have to get ready for Game Awards and stuff, and seeing what are my favorite 5 or 10 games and stuff. I do have to exclude PlayStation this year because I didn't play anything PS5 related as much as I wanted to. If I did have to give it to PlayStation, man, definitely Ghost of Yotai would get it and everything. Uh, but yeah, yes. So, but I'll definitely will be making my list coming soon. For games that I think, of course, it's gonna be a lot of it that's gonna be on Nintendo, for sure. With Switch and Switch 2. Um, and there'll be some Series X stuff. I haven't returned back to Ninja Gaiden 4. I haven't picked up the Outer Wilds 2, but those are stuff for the future. And I'm excited to see what Black Friday brings. I still need to pick up Pokemon Legends ZA. I did order The Legend of Zelda Age of Imprisonment. So I'm super, super excited to play those games. You know. Uh, but with that, everybody, we're gonna get into family news, and this won't be a long episode, everybody. But um, I got some stories for you guys. We're gonna get into the first story that was just like kind of big. Nintendo is expanding its first party music, starting with Zelda. With the Nintendo Music app bursting with a variety of favorite video games music from Nintendo, the company is experimenting with this game's soundtracks. Nintendo has teamed up with Lace Records to release 2 sets of LPs for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The cheaper set, around $49, comes with a 34 track comes with 34 tracks on 2 LPs, while the expensive collection at $195 is a 130 track uh, 8 L with 8 LPs box set. Bill Trinen, whose title is Vice President of Player and Product Experience of Nintendo of America, spoke more about this release. It's planned for June 19, 2026. With yeah, so this would be a first for Nintendo and Zelda being on a record on the LP. Because and Bill Trina said that Nintendo do have soundtracks in Japan that are on CD, but they don't have nothing here in America. So this is one is a test to see how you know people are thinking about it. Will they invest with it? Is Zelda in this Breath of the Wild? I'm pretty much sure that people are going to be picking it up. They're going to be having some solid color ones and some clear design ones. They're like really, really cool. So you guys can check that out. I don't have a rec player yet, and I need like I'm getting one. So I would love to have this. I would, these LPs. Definitely the 8 track, the 130 LP one. Man, if you Zelda was on the 8 track player, that would be insane. We're gonna move on from that. Capcom is going all in for Resident Evil on Switch 2. Capcom announced a special collector's edition called Resident Evil Generation Pack that includes Resident Evil Biohazard, Village, and Requiem on 3 separate game key cards for 89.99. They also announced the RE Requiem Pro Controller, and for next summer, there will be a Grace Ashcroft Amiibo release. There's also an RE Requiem Deluxe Edition with the game, costumes, skins, and more. You can pre-order these items now, except for the Amiibo, since it has not been revealed. So yes, um, Capcom is going all out, and right now the special edition is only for Switch 2 that I know of. Capcom has not said anything for PlayStation. I think they're supposed to be having an event also coming soon, but I know as the release gets closer, they're going to be doing more, reveals about the game. I know also limited run games have also and has teamed up with Capcom to do their Capcom arcade games and Onimusha 2. So that's very, very exciting to see with that. Uh, Also, I think a new Shantae game is coming. Limited Run had like their kind of 15-minute direct stuff, and I think they announced or no, not 15 minutes. I think it's like 45, 48 minutes. I believe that Limited Run, not Limited Run, Wait For It said that there is a new Shantae game in the work. And I guess Limited Run is going to be producing the physical, but we shall see in the future. One big story or two big stories I could talk about. Nintendo wins and losses this week. So the law for Nintendo this week has been an interesting one to say the least. They won the case against a defiant streamer who was streaming prior to games before their release. Jesse Cayenne must pay Nintendo $17,500 in damages. Jesse responded to this. Response to this was, "You might run a corporation. I run the streets." He run the streets. He wrote this on his Facebook page. A loss for Nintendo was that the Japan Patent Office rejected Nintendo's patent for monster catching. The act of throwing and aiming objects to either capture or battle seemed to lack an inventive step and was determined after looking at prior art with the game art being mentioned as an example. So um, let's let's start with the lost first. With this one. So there's been other games that has done monster collecting. Of course, you would have Pocket Monsters on the Game Boy before it became Pokemon here over in America. And because of the power dispute that's going on, Nintendo's trying to, copyright this game pattern, saying that they created. But with Japan saying no, this game mechanic could be And they said they got the two more other patents and stuff, but because this basic game, game pattern, you know, doesn't has been done in other games and stuff. It's not offensive or anything, and there's been other games prior to it, who used this mechanic. So, with Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, they just can't, copy, they can't make a pattern for a gameplay idea. It wouldn't work that way. Um, or nor it would be good for Nintendo and for business. Um, now, that's kind of small to Nintendo, but some people might take joy in that. Now, with the streamer Jesse Ryan, $17,500 is no joke. He destroyed the evidence because in reality, he had digital copies on his computer, and that he was streaming these games before it was released. So Nintendo asked him to destroy the physical copies or whatever way that he got them, and the court said, well, that's going to be impossible because everything he has is digital. So you know they said that. Sorry about that for the young everybody. They said that he beat Nintendo to the punch by destroying everything and making sure they don't see the videos and stuff. But $17,500 is no joke. What people would think about it, it's been kind of quiet on that front, um, and everything. So, um, how he's going to pay this, that I don't know. Now, I will say this: 17,000 is kind of a little bit. It's expensive for us middle class. That feels very low compared to some of the other people that are paying millions and stuff. And I think it's because of the pirating that they stole. They're selling these pirated copies of games and stuff um, that they weren't supposed to be selling and everything. So. Um, Nintendo would take that win. How long it would take him to pay for that? I don't know. Jesse, saying that he ran the streets. I want to say something, but I'm going to say before when Corey comes back because I just need to hear what he says. We're going to get into the last story. It was kind of big news and kind of a big deal. Nintendo plans to release Animal Crossing New Horizons on Switch 2. Nintendo plans to release an updated version of its mega hit title Animal Crossing New Horizons on Switch 2 and will include upgraded graphics and resolution. Contain mouse mode, a megaphone, and expanded online features including a 12-player multiplayer session. And there's gonna also be more stuff to it, everybody. All for $64.99. If you own the Switch version, you can get these upgrades for $4.99. There will also be a free update for the game on Nintendo Switch for players. It is planned for January 15, 2026. So, um, there have been some pictures that they show, with some of the characters looking a little bit smoother. The game running, I think, closer to 60 frames per second. And then they showed a little bit of the multiplayer. So, and from what I know, Nintendo, that was a good. Nintendo dropped this like just on Twitter and everything. They've kind of been dropping announcements here and there. Um, we haven't got anything Metro Prime 4 Beyond related just yet, but I think they're about to go into hard mode since the game will be out in about five more weeks, and it's very very exciting. So we shall see um how that goes. But yeah, I think people who own the game, I think they're gonna pay the $5 to do the upgrade, and I think that that's just more coin for them. And if people want to buy the game for $64.99, that's not a bad deal. And now they said it won't include the DLC in this game for Animal Crossing New Horizons, which I didn't know that it actually had, and they gave an explanation about that, so you guys can check that out if you want to. Um, but everybody, that's gonna be it for Family News this week. Um, I just got pack watch for you guys, and then we're gonna wrap up. It's like I said, not such a long show and everything, and I guess you guys can kind of hear me do all the yada because I'm a little bit tired and everything. But for pack watch on 11/4, we got Dinkum. Good day. Grab your tools, gather resources, and build your town while hanging out with friends and enjoying the charm of Dinkum. This is kind of in their direct last time they showed it. Deacon was in it on November 6th. Harbor Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Battle hordes enemies in the untold story of the imprisoning war. Experience the complete true story of Demon King Ganondorf's invasion that was briefly shown in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Also on November 6th is Chicken Police. Into the High. Pick and Please Into the Hive is a character-driven, story-rich film noir detective adventure in which you must uncover a complex world-scale conspiracy by gathering clues, interrogating suspects, and solving puzzles. Sonny and Marty, the wilderness' toughest detectives, are about to embark on the biggest case of their lives, which will take them through the insect underworld and force them to face the darkest reaches of their past. Now, I will say this, with Taking Police Into the High, I got to play a little bit of this at PAX East in 2024. Um, I got to talk to their PR manager about some of their games and stuff. So if you guys go to botchers.net, you'll be able to see that interview for PAX East 2024 and about a little bit about this game. I cracked it up. It is so good, so funny. It is fully voice acted, so you'll be able to follow along with the story. I'm super excited. I know when I played it, they did not have a release time for this game. So to see that it's coming to the Nintendo Switch, I'm super glad. I'm super excited to play this game. Of course, Harbor Warriors, Age of Imprisonment. I'm so stoked. It continues to impress me. It's so buttery smooth. So, and I can't wait to go through a whole bunch of hordes. Come on, Koei Tech. Well, I'm super excited for that. Um, that's gonna be it, everybody, for this episode of Nintendo Pow Block. Like I said, nothing too long or anything. I really don't have a topic since we're, getting to kind of the Game of the Year nominations, but we still got a lot of games. Uh, people. I'm waiting to hear people's thoughts on Call of Duty when that one drops. I know, like I said, Microsoft is going hard, marketing the Outer Wilds too, so good to them. I'm excited to play that, but it's gonna be a while before I get a chance to play that game and everything. So with that, everybody, we're gonna stop here with Nintendo Power Block. Next episode Corey will be on there. We'll have more bigger discussions and everything. So, I hope you guys do enjoy this episode. Like I said, not too long or anything. Um, Not so many weekly updates in Nintendo Switch Online. A lot of stuff that we covered last episode, is the things that's been released and everything. I guess my final thought is, as we get close to Game of the Year, hopefully everybody was able to play a lot of games, get a lot of experiences, from different platforms and everything. And I know, Expedition 33 is kind of like the leading game right now, but, there's some other indie games that's going to be challenging it. Some first party and some third party games. I think there's so much that's out there. I was talking to a friend about Black Friday, in a sense, and I think if done right, this might be an exciting Black Friday for people who missed a lot of games that they could pick up, get a good solo, try 'em out, get some thoughts, maybe even beat some, take some time off and get a chance to beat it and be able to finalize their game year. Because I feel like with the Game Awards that's coming out in December, I feel like that doesn't fully acknowledges all the games that's coming out and everything. Because I know there's going to be nominations and people are going to be making their voting vote now. I feel like when it hits January 1st, even for people after Christmas or Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate at all, but you got a gift or something. That's like a friendly gift or something. That is, if you get a chance to play all the games that you want to play and beat in 2025, that you will be able to make a great game of the year list um, for 2026 in a sense, like what I guess what I'm trying to say is like give your game of the year list some time, like really experience and like think out what makes your list yours. And then if you want to post it and let people know, post it and let people know and be excited for the list that you made. There is a community or us as gamers who might think something else is game of the year or who might think Expedition 33 is going to take it all the way and stuff because of how great and amazing that game is to them. I can't really speak for them because I haven't fully beaten the game. But like maybe something like Blade Shimmer for me, for players, could be my game of the year, or Donkey Kong Bonanza could be a lot of people's favorite. Mario Kart World is super fun and everything. There could be some indie games that may take it, like Shinobi. Even though Shinobi is Sega, not really indie, people love that game. Ninja got a fork and take it for Xbox on how great and amazing that game is. You know, there's so much to choose from different genres, and everything from, first party, third party. Battlefield 6 may have a chance to get game of the year. We don't know. Call of Duty might. There's a lot of choices to take. Meaning the holiday got delayed so that your club could fix it, so it may not even make it to Game of the Year or stuff. The Pokemon ZA could take it. Like there's so much choice. Definitely for Nintendo and Switch and Switch 2. There's been a lot of games that have came out that system that have a chance to become a Game of the Year. But I would love to see people's list. In January, just to hear what people think. What was their personal game of the year? I'm super excited. I cannot wait to play Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I'm super excited for that. But yeah, just everybody, when you make your game of the year list, have fun with it. Be proud of the list that you make. You know, there's gonna be people who want to judge you and try to make fun of your list, and you know, you, you respond to them with kindness. Be like, thank you for your opinion. Don't ask them anything else. Thank them for their opinion and keep it moving. Social media, their negativity and their hate shouldn't disturb your life and what you like. You keep gaming, you keep showing off why you like it, because the thing about it is you can get one negative compared to eight positive comments who love your list and just love to even see a game, regardless of you rank it or not or what place. They love to see that you enjoy that game that they also enjoy and others also enjoy. It could be niche, it could be a big, it could be a sell, it could be a game that didn't do nothing, you know. Whatever you enjoy, and whatever list that you create, be proud of the list that you make because it's the games that you pay for and that you enjoy or dream through Game Pass. Any way that you acquired that game, if you enjoyed it, be happy that you enjoyed it. So with that, everybody, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you for watching it and or listening to this episode of Nintendo Pow Block. If you joined us live, follow, subscribe to the channel if you're watching if you haven't done so already. If you're watching later on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Whether it's on today's topic or a new idea we can discuss in a future episode. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, consider leaving us a 5-star rating and a nice review as it helps us with discoverability and reach. You can support Boss Rush on Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network at a tier that's right for you. You can even follow for free and gain access to all of our base shows on one feed. Um, Also, everybody, before I wrap up, please go to bossrich.net. Stephanie, let's go check out the 10th anniversary for Limited Run Games. And she got to do some great interviews. She got some great games. We got to meet Jeremy Parrish, and I good googly woogly he screamed. I yelled because I'm so happy that she got to talk to him. There is an interview up there with them. I really I want to join Stephanie if she ever does a spotlight with them because I I want to thank him for so much. And of course I'm gonna do my best. I would do my best not to take over, but I would like to thank him for Retronauts, EGM, and One Up, and being a creator, whether you like it or not. I don't know what he thinks about it still. Um, Being the creator of the name Metroidvania, you know, and how that all happened and everything. So yes, do go read that. I still got some PAX interviews that I am working on. My Miss Fall Hunter one I am working on. I'm sorry everybody that I'm still late with the Sip Song review. I am going to be trying to get that out. You guys, when I tell you I've been busy, I've been working 6 days for the last couple of weeks. I only get like one day, and sometimes I need that one day to mentally rest. Even when I was on vacation, I needed that break away to test from things. Because of working so much, I kind of needed to decompress with that. So, but then everybody have a great week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Nintendo Pow Block. Bye, everybody. Woo-hoo!
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Christian S. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Christian S. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.